Free and welcome to my first video in a series of presentations for Talent Pathways TL2072. In my first presentation we will be taking a look at what talent actually is. So, how can we actually define talent? People are rarely precise about what they mean by the term talent in organisations, which is difficult as having a solid definition of talent is essential for talent management systems according to Tansley 2011. In relation to sports, talent can be described as athletes who demonstrate exceptional ability compared to their peers of a similar biological development stage, which indicates that they will be able to achieve exceptional athletic performance in the long term. There is a large discussion and debate as to whether nature or nurture are more important in the role of developing talent. Nature is where an individual is born with a set of genetic traits which allow athletic potential and success. Nurture is where the skill will be trained and tended to. Some athletes appear to be born with a natural sporting ability and therefore need less training and practice to excel, whilst others have to work extremely hard to reach the same level of excellence. According to Georgiadis et al. 2017, the contribution of both nature and nurture is necessary in creating athletes, as even if an athlete is born with a superior skill, it's essential to train and hone these skills to ensure they are utilising their full potential. This research also found that the most elite level athletes are built when born with a natural ability. Michael Phelps is an example of an athlete who falls within the nature category, as he was born with many physical attributes which have allowed him to be an exceptional swimmer, such as his shorter legs and long feet. Kobe Bryant is an example of nurture, as although he was physically gifted with his height, which is essential for a basketballer, he was notable more for his drive and determination, which made him want to train and make the most of his potential, and therefore he nurtured his natural talent. So, how do we actually identify talent? Talent identification is the process of selecting athletes that have the greatest potential to excel in the future. Talent identification is essential for clubs to scout the best athletes possible so they can compete with other clubs. The race to scout the best talent is becoming increasingly competitive, according to Marks 2014. Often talent identification begins at a young age, so that clubs can seek out children who are showing good potential that they can then nurture. It's believed by Gladwell 2008 that it takes 10,000 hours to master any skill, so by identifying talent at a young age, coaches and clubs will be able to invest these 10,000 hours much easier than if it was an older athlete. It can, however, be tricky to identify talent at a young age, as children develop at different rates and often scouts have no criteria when watching athletes, as a study by Roberts et al. 2019 found that coaches primarily predicted potential success based on their overall impression, intuition or coach's eye when watching athletes. This is not a reliable method for scouting talent, as there is no set criteria often for identifying talent. So, talent identification definitely has its flaws, as it's almost like placing a bet on an athlete to become professional, as scouts frequently identify the wrong person, which is known as inclusion error. So, at what age can we actually identify talent? Research by Canner 2010 found that there are 3 stages to talent identification, the first one beginning below age 10 and lasting to age 12, the second phase lasting between ages 13 to 16, and the third stage is mainly concerned with the high calibre athletes, for example, selecting and identifying national team members. Talent detection and selection programmes are much more reliable the closer the athlete is to adulthood, with a success rate of almost 100% at the under 21 stage. So, judging off this, surely it's easier to identify talent within older ages as opposed to younger children, especially as they've had much more time to develop their skills and grow as athletes. However, clubs rarely do this and much prefer to scout their children at a much younger age. So, in conclusion, we can now define what talent is, and we can understand that both nature and nurture have essential roles to play when looking for and developing the best athletes. We have also begun to take a look at how talent identification works and at what age talent is identified best. In my next presentation, we will be taking a look at the social factors which impact upon talent development. Thank you for watching. And here is my reference list. Thank you again for watching.